Star Report. I'm your host, Star. Welcome to the show. Folks, it is Tuesday, early afternoon, and I want to have a discussion here today while I do some research, all right? My topic is the black upper class losing to the lower class. Let me say that again. Is the black upper class losing to the lower class? Now, who is the lower class? That's the question. Let's not just make this about, black people, because the greatest power is influence. That's a fact. Research has shown us that. So with that influential power, there are many ethnicities, nationalities, people of color and lack thereof that have been influenced by black art, black culture, black women, black men. Who is the lower class? Now, this particular topic is somewhat of a continuation from the show that we did 2 days ago, which got a lot of good comments on with regards to should we bring segregation back for people to do better? Thank you for chiming in on that particular show. And if your comments were removed on that show, the reason is we want you to stay focused on the topic. Stay on topic. Never mind me. Never mind the messenger. I can take it. Trust me, but stay on topic. Anyway, so this afternoon's show is the black upper class losing to the lower class, okay? And the black upper class could very well be the working class. I'm just using upper class, for now. And I don't want to single anyone out, but I want to throw something out there since we're talking about the greatest power is influence. There's a new track by Lil RT called 60 Miles. Woo! Woo! 9 years of age. Telling people SMD. I've got the lyrics right here. Oh, he's talking that hot talk. Yes, he is. And salute to Doughboy. Doughboy is out of Cleveland, Ohio, for those of you who know his swag. Doughboy's the truth. I'm not even going to lie. He's got tracks with Future. I've got all of his information. Pardon me. Hold on. Doughboy, he goes back to, well, he put out tracks as early as 2010, 2011, 12, 13, 14. Very, very consistent as an artist and a producer, and now is CEO. Okay, so this, I'm not sure if Lil RT is his artist or if it's just a collaboration, but the track is, it's all over the place. It's like bird shit. Millions of views, 9 years old. He's got the money phone. He's talking about letting the shotty rip, the cig squirt. I mean, I'm just paraphrasing, but you know what he's saying. So, is the black upper class losing influence? That's my focus here this afternoon. Influence, to the lower class, all right? Not that I'm calling, this little young boy, he's not a man, boy, little RT lower class, but, he's he's catering to a certain demographic, and other people are picking up on it. Now, I'm myself a capitalist, for those of you who know, and capitalism has no moral base. No, it does not. Now, my favorite philosopher, Ayn Rand, tried to give capitalism a moral purpose. I think she failed in that particular quest. But I am an objectivist. Make no mistake about it. She tried to give capitalism a morality. No, I say. Times are different, and capitalism has no moral base. Capitalism is value for value, quick in a nutshell, all right? So, the influence of the lower class, whoever they may be, is the black upper class losing? Now, who are the upper class? Let's try and do a deep dive here. I'm a conservative voter for the most part. You've already heard me say I'm an objectivist. But at the same time, I understand the hatred here in America. Beautiful land that it is. My father fought in World War II. Many of your family members are in the military now. They have served, as mine did. So we have a right to what is said, what is done, and what goes on in this particular land of ours, okay? So the black upper class, again, those who pay taxes, law-abiding citizens, those who have achieved certain status, I would say you are the upper class, okay? My showrunner, this is a little bit, I don't know. It's just that's for fellas. That's not for females. Fellas, did you become a prison wife to survive? A prison wife. Now, I've never been to prison. I've done skid bids. You know this already. So I have no knowledge here. But just throughout the day, weeks, I think about things, and I do write down notes as I'm driving or whatever, just smoking a cigar. And I was thinking about this. And I don't know the stats or the consensus with regards to how many males or men have become prison wives to survive. Good afternoon, troll babies. Are you guys with me? Now, I don't expect too many guys to call in and say, yes, Star, I was a prison wife. I don't expect that at all. However, ladies, you can call in and say that you suspect your man or your ex to have once been a prison wife. And what is the role of a prison wife for a male or man? I don't know. I don't know. I have friends, and I had a really, really good friend. He was a correction officer on Rikers Island for years. R.I.P. to my homie Malverse, if anybody from Crown Heights, if you remember Malverse down at the Star and Buckwild show. And, I heard stories, but I can't, say that I have any firsthand knowledge. I only had one, situation where I think somebody got his back blown out. Niggas made him smoke a pole. But I can't confirm. You've heard me mention this before. Early 80s, I was on Rikers Island sitting with a guy. Another guy comes by and says to him, he says, yo, you still want that bogey? A bogey. They used to call cigarettes bogeys. I don't know if they call them bogeys now, but this was early 80s. I was on Rikers Island with this kid. He said, yeah. He got up, followed this guy to wherever, I don't know where, came back, maybe within less than 15 minutes, sniffling. and looking like he was shell-shocked. And I said, yo, what's going on? You okay? He could barely answer me. So I assumed that some niggas, plowed him like a field. I don't know. Until this day, I still don't know. I don't know. Pardon me, I shouldn't be laughing. It's not funny. So that's my showrunner. Or we can talk about some other things. There's a lot going on in the world of social media, news, and what have you, okay? Did you become a prison wife to survive? Or if you saw something, don't say someone's name. Just call in. Tell us what happened, okay? All right, guys, thank you for your donations early. Thank you so much. I see you out. I want to get the show rolling. I'll get to all the donations as the show moves forward. Thank you. Nat, I got you, man. Nat says supporting the machine. Nat, thank you, man. Yeah, it's Tuesday, and I'm in a great place, for those who care. And I think I have a buyer for my home here in Stone Harbor, New Jersey. I'll keep you posted, all right? Let's get to the phone lines early. Somebody tapping in from Georgia. Hey there, area code 404, good afternoon. Is the black upper class losing to the lower class? 404.
Star, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
All right. So, I was actually thinking about this the other day. About, 100 years ago or so, when Booker T. Washington was kind of talking about this. Mm-hmm. And
many people have. Really, many people have thought of this. I'm just putting this on the table today, but go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, the blacks, literally, it's like if you look at historical black colleges, universities, we gave up, the trades and stuff like that for liberal arts. And that ushered in this whole, the Harlem Renaissance and all that good stuff. And so black people for years have been giving up just to be that bourgeoisie stuff, and now it's not working out for us. Over time, you see how the lowest of the low, and not to talk bad about them, but the ratchetness has taken over.
Yeah.
and some people have just accepted it. And so if you
some people love it. Some people love the niggardly behavior. And I have to put myself in that category. In the past, there was a young kid, and I'm going to talk about that as the show goes on, who was just as bad, if not worse than a little RT. But can I ask you to bring it up to date a little bit more? We did a show a couple of days ago about, should we bring back segregation? I want to talk about now the upper class and the lower class. Can we bring it up to date a little bit more, please?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, we are like really like the ratchetness and stuff like that. Who was it? The rapper, the girl, Suki Hana with
Suki
the
Hana.
Suki Hana and stuff.
Suki Hana.
I was watching her in an interview, I think maybe a week or so ago, about how she just talked about, it's an act. It's something she puts out there.
Yeah. And
the fact that people are eating it up. If you go down people's timeline and stuff like that, people love looking at the ratchetness. What's your girl, Sexy Red? She's big right now because, I mean, college, what was it?
Ski.
I think colleges was talking about bringing her out.
Bust your
Think
head,
about that.
bust your head, bust your head. Yeah, but hang on a second, hang on. Let's not just focus, even though, rap music is the most dominant genre right now. Let's not just focus on music. We've got entertainers, yes, and we've got athletes who are quick to go on Instagram and say some very low-grade things and show us low-grade behavior. But there's other ethnicities as well. Don't just make it about black people. Go ahead.
Well, I wasn't just making it about black people. I was just pointing out how, just in general, people are reaching towards the ratchetness.
Yeah.
And that's all cultures.
Okay.
Because when we talk about it, it's not just black people are sitting there accepting this. We look at the music, we look at how people are dressing and things of that nature. Where does that come from?
Yeah.
Most of it comes out of what? The projects, the hood. And so that is the culture now.
Okay. I hear you. I don't agree, but go ahead. Finish up.
I'm saying like that, but that's the thing that people are gravitating towards right now.
Okay.
So
let me ask you this, with regards to this question, is the black upper class losing to the lower class? Are they losing the battle or the war?
What's the war? Once again, because but that was
so it's a wrap.
Gonna be.
It's a wrap.
Well, yeah. I mean, because at the end of the day, the black upper class, not just even we look at the black upper class, but even upper class in general. How do you get to the upper class? It's because you build wealth.
Okay.
It's because you were meeting needs and things of that nature.
Okay.
And it goes back to, like I said, most times people who are wealthy, there's a certain things that's no longer needed. But if you have a trade, if you have something that wasn't looked at as a big deal,
right,
like mechanics, right, or a plumber, like people don't look at, even though they make a lot of money, those aren't jobs that people kind of sit back and say, okay,
right.
That's the upper echelon.
Okay.
But they're doing very well right now.
Yeah.
If you know how to fix a AC and do heating and air and all that good stuff, man, you living pretty good.
Yeah. I think you've got some great points. I am going to push back on your comment about people in the projects, but I thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. And before you go, any knowledge firsthand? I'm not trying to clown anybody. Did you become a prison wife to survive?
Now I have no knowledge of that any on first, second, third, or fourth hand.
Thank you.
But people do what they gotta do.
Thank you. Okay. Does anybody know somebody who was like, on that real rah rah, before they went into the penitentiary, and then when they came out, their whole demeanor changed? That may be a sign of someone who became a wife. Someone who got buck broken, someone who maybe they didn't gang up on him and take it. Maybe he made a choice in his mind, I better surrender the booty. I mean, I don't want to get too graphic, but maybe I don't want no problems. I got a couple of guys standing here. Oh, this nigga has a toothbrush file down. This nigga over here has a shank, you know? And you surrendered the booty. Does anybody know anybody like that? Hang on a second. Hey, Charlotte, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. She says, always keeping it 100. Much love to you. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you. Yeah. I want us to do a real deep dive here. You know, it's afternoon, it's early, but this topic is the black upper class losing to the lower class. You know, there's so many people that come to America that assimilate to the white ideal. And in reality, they are Euro trash. You've heard me speak about this before, and you know this already. So they assimilate, and phenotypically, they are white. However, they have been, living below the standards of decency for many years or moons where they come from. But they come here and they act, you know, upscale and sedity. But at their core, they themselves are trash and of breeders of lower standards. So the title, again, is The Black Upper Class Losing to the Lower Class. This constant battle, the battle for decency, for respect, that hardworking, law-abiding black people do face on a daily basis. Are they losing to others? Again, not just black people. We can focus on black people if that's all you know, and that's fine. But that's my question here this afternoon, okay? Let me bring in the area code here. 401. Are you there? Good afternoon. Good evening. 401.
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on, Star?
Hey, how are you, man? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I'm just calling about. I seen the topic. The prison. What is it? The prison wife.
Did you become a prison wife to survive in the penitentiary? Not trying to clown nobody. I'm just, you know, it's a reality, man.
Never in my life. Never in my life. I've been to the penitentiary.
Mm-hmm.
I've done my time, but never in my life has that even ever been like a thought or a process. Nothing. But what I can tell you is, it's more likely that it's a straight dude messing with one of the dudes that's in there that's already a punk. You know what I mean?
Did you do a stretch or a skid bid? And what did you go for?
I did. I caught 20 with 5 to serve. 20 with 5 to serve.
Jesus. So how much time did you do? You say you caught that, but how much did you?
I did 2.5 of me parole first shot.
Okay, so you did 2.5.
2.5 me parole first shot.
Okay. Any confrontations? Any fights?
Yeah, you get into a couple. You know, you're gonna get into a couple of fights, but as long as you got a good hand game, you'll be all right. But as far as the punk thing, that was more of like an 80s, 90s thing, I guess.
Okay.
It's more you're more likely to find somebody that goes in there and messes with one of the punks that's already in there.
Okay.
That happens a lot.
Okay.
I never did none of that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't play around, but you see that a lot. They hit the mop closet up. They be all over the place.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't know, and I'm honestly, saying this. My era was different, but now we have social media. People are live streaming in the penitentiary, so their long-term goals are different. You got guys now who have YouTube channels from the penitentiary. They have clothing lines.
A brand.
I saw
that's
some
like brand.
Yeah, I saw some guy with the clothing line. He was taking fabric in the penitentiary, making clothes, and getting money. So I mean, it's different now. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's like a brand new thing. I think there's something. There might be. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but if you just look at it with a common sense mind, you can see there's something pushing this prison thing, because the K. Sanat kid, he just did a 7-day prison thing, and there's something that they're trying to make prison look enticing to young people, which they've always done if you really think about it. Yes. You're right. You go to jail, you come out with muscles. This has always been a thing, but as far as the as far as the whole, you know what I mean, the prison wife, I've seen those too, though. Don't get me wrong. I've seen the dudes who they're really just, they got no muscle. They don't got an ounce of muscle on their body, so they got to connect to the strongest guy in the mod and whatever. I pretty much, when you're in there, you tone that shit out because you don't want nothing to do with that. But I see it happen, but it's more along the lines nowadays, today, of people go in there straight and then come out funny because they mess with the ones that's already like that. Like, nobody's really trying to catch that.
I'm willing to bet. Again, I don't know. You would be better informed than me. I'm willing to bet.
I mean, the last...
Hang on. Just let me say this, and I'll give you the last word. I'm willing to bet guys go in straight, become a wife, and then come out thinking that they're still straight, and they don't say anything. Go ahead and finish up.
Yeah, about that, man. It's more, like I said before, it's more along the line. They think they're more like a husband. Like, they grab one of these little punks that's in there, and they just start doing whatever they do with them. And you know it's happening because you're in there with them. But to them, it's just that they're in like a savage type of mind state when they get in there. They just got to salvage whatever they could as far as to feed their vices and addictions and stuff like that. But that's pretty much what that is. But I did want to touch on it. I don't know if you wanted to. I did want to.
Well, listen, man. I got to check other calls and getting backed up. You did great.
All right,
man.
I got you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yes, okay. I have no knowledge here. Are there any correction officers available to call in, male and or female? Did someone become a prison wife? Is that an alternative now? Well, listen, I became a prison wife, but I'm not gay. There's a whole gay for play genre. We've had that discussion before. People who are actors who claim to be straight, but yet and still they do gay porn. Well, I'm an actor. Anyway, hey, Tamara, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Do you want to call in? Okay, you're one of the people whose comment got deleted on the show that we did 2 days ago. Did you stay on topic? Stay on topic. In those comments for the rebroadcast, we are looking for quality over quantity. But just be careful with the language because the algorithms are very serious, okay? Let me go to area code 213, and then I'm going to one of my sponsors. Are you there? Good afternoon. 213.
What's up, Star?
Hey, how are you?
Man, it's all good. It's Travis, man. I was just calling in on the last caller, man. Talking about he did a 21 and 5, all that 2-year demo. Come on, man. I did 15 years in the penitentiary straight.
Damn.
I never, the prison wife game, it ain't really like that, man. Out of 15 years, I never saw that happen. But I was in high-level spots.
Okay.
With some of the most reputable names, and I was in the Fed, so I was moved all around. I was in all of the highest prisons, right? Mm-hmm. That don't really go there. You got a community in there. You got a gay community in there for sure. They do what they do, but as far as just like regulars going up in there and all that old, that's a narrative they push out here about that old down low, get down.
Okay.
I didn't see it. I really didn't see it, man, because for one, the number one thing people don't like about people in prison, they don't like snitches, they don't like rapists / pedophiles,
right,
and they don't like thieves, right? Those are 3 people that start scum in prison. So it's like people think people in there getting, raped. Nobody respect a rapist, man, woman, or child.
Right.
So they couldn't walk a line. You know what I mean? So now this cat who said he did 2 years, I'm sure he didn't see nothing. If you only got 2 years, you're in a camp somewhere.
Well, now hang on a second. If I can jump in, with my limited knowledge in this particular area, because again, I've never been to the big house, so to speak. I did skid beds, a week here, 2 weeks there, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You do acknowledge that this is a reality, even if you didn't quote unquote see it. It happens, and I'm not saying that it's a forceful thing. Some guys wind up in the wrong place, they have to make a decision. Hey, I got to survive here. Hey, we even saw, hang on, remember King Von? There's a video with King Von talking to another guy, talking about kissing him. You gonna be my baby. He was talking that talk. It's recorded so that the CEO wouldn't put him in that particular unit with those other gang members, opposing gang members, right?
Well, I'm not familiar with that particular scenario, right? But maybe it could happen.
Okay.
Maybe it can happen. I mean,
Okay.
you got people they go in there and they may submit to certain things, but like I said, I never saw it.
Okay.
And like I said, I did 15 long years.
Damn.
And I was amongst some of the most people walking around with life sentences.
Okay.
Don't even get weak, and because there's really no temptation in there. Yeah. When you in there, especially
you never saw a nigga get traded for 3 Lucy's and and a piece of cornbread. You never saw that.
No, I never saw. But I tell you this: there is a community in there.
Right.
They get down like that, and they do it openly.
Yeah.
But they stay in their lane. Right. It's not like they're gonna hang out with me or anybody I'm hanging out with.
And
you know what I mean?
And where'd you go? Where were you? What penitentiary?
Man, I was in the federal penitentiary. I was all around. I was in Beaumont, USP. I was in Marion, Max. I was in the ADX Florence. I was in Florence, Colorado.
Damn.
I did a lot of prison time. I was in all of the spots.
What'd you go to prison for, if you don't mind me asking? What?
Well, of course, I was in the big entrapment game, drugs. I went 90. I didn't come home till 2005.
Right.
So
listen, I appreciate you. Appreciate you tapping in. I respect what you're saying, but now Alpo did say Alpo drug dealer, Harlem legend. He did say ain't nothing better than a fat butt boy. He said that. Hang on, sir. Hang on. And the Fed, the retired Fed, went on Queen's Flip's channel and said it when Alpo was alive, not after he was dead. Alpo said that. Ain't nothing better than a fat butt boy. Go ahead and finish up.
I'm familiar with what he said, right? 'Cause I heard that as well, right? But
you heard that
again, like I said, but that's a community of people that get down like that, and he wasn't hiding it, right? So, Alpo, like I said, you got people that they not hiding it. That's what he was on.
Okay.
Right, and it is with everybody. See, one thing sure, everybody knew he was a killer too.
Yeah.
So you know, I don't know if he took any or not. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak on that.
I don't know.
But if he's openly speaking how he got down like that, hey, more power to him. Rest in peace or whatever.
Got you.
Right?
So I have to take other calls, man. I appreciate you tapping in. I have to take other calls.
Do
Thank
your
you.
thing, man. I'll call you on some business another time. I
Yes,
just want
sir.
to jump in.
Thank you. Salute.
All right. Have a great one, man.
You too. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Okay. Did you become a prison wife to survive? Let's go to area code. Okay, New Jersey tapping in. Area code 732. You there? Good afternoon. 732.
Good afternoon, Star.
Hey,
Tobin.
Hey, what's up, man? It's cracking, shaking.
Hey, man, that little RT dude, but I've been hearing them buzz a little bit, never really followed them, but I recently looked, bro. My man hitting numbers. You heard?
Yeah.
Little 9-year-old young thug, man, bro. That more hitting them numbers. You heard?
Yep. Doughboy brought him out. You know who Doughboy is? Doughboy, he's been out for a while himself.
Yeah, from Cleveland.
Right.
From Cleveland.
Right. Well, Doughboy, I think he was born in Cleveland, but he came out of Atlanta, really got his weight up in Atlanta. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. Go ahead.
Well, I don't really know him for too much Atlanta. I really started rocking with him through Rowdy Rebel.
Okay.
He got a lot of tracks of Rowdy, and then I started to search him, and yeah, dude, I flux with dude, go in.
Yeah. So, not to just focus on little RT, but is he part of what would be considered the underclass? Promoting that type of, art. It's art. Yes. What do you think? What do you say?
You know that type of what you call it, art. That type of art plays a big role in the, in my opinion, play a big role in the whole what you say the lower class taking over type, because it's really the hip hop that's outshining like all genres, all. I mean, it goes to sports, movies, and you got the suburbs listening, trying, like it's just reaching all places where it never did once before. You feel me?
Right.
So who the majority of the people that listen to that art, the hip hop, it's us poor folks, because we come from that.
Well, stay with me, because earlier one of the callers was trying to put it off on people from the projects. I see it differently. Just hear me out. There are many people that came out of the projects that throughout history that had and still do have better morals, ethics, and values than people who live good. Many people, Diana Ross and a host of others, I'm just using one name, came out of the projects and strived to be better, to help other people. I mean, just because you were raised in a tall cage does not mean that you are a person of lesser morals. Does that make sense or no?
Yeah, the way I interpret that, it makes sense if this is what you mean. Basically, like, the people from the projects or these lower class neighborhoods, like they witnessed and lived through and suffered through both sides of the fence, the good part and mostly the bad part, So they can they know what it's like to be from the bottom, where an upper class person probably never went that deep. They was always, had they at least their head above water. Right. But they're more accustomed to a life. They're more accustomed to a life where the struggle is not really as painful.
The struggle. Right. Now hang on a second. I just want to say this one last thing, and I want you to finish up. Again, moving to New York in 1981, you should know my history. I've been to people's homes in the projects, and many a times their apartments were clean. Now you go in the hallway. Yes, there's piss in the elevator, but you go into the apartment. Shit was fly. Hey, all the new fly clothes. Goddamn, the eatery, everything. It's like, yo, am I in the projects or am I in fucking Bloomingdale's? Now, that's hang on. Let me just say this last thing. I was raised in the suburbs, and I have known some dirty Dagos.
I know you. I know it.
Dirty. Hear me when I tell you this, because people don't listen. I've known some dirty Dagos, Italians, niggas with straight hair, living in filth. Oh yes, they had a 3-car garage. Yes, but just dirty, filthy, and some of the girls' crotches smell like three-day-old marinara. I just had to say that. Go ahead, finish up. Come on.
Hey man, that's fact, man. I've been in some of my white boy friends' crib. I remember just dog hair all everywhere. They come, yo. Oh man, no, for real, that's facts, yo. These a lot of my white boy friends growing up, man. Cribs was dirty. Yeah, cribs was dirty and all that, But that's facts though. They do keep it clean. And
you go in the refrigerator to get a cupcake and it's got cat hair all over this motherfucker. Yo, get out of here. Let me get the fuck out of here.
Hey, yo, Star, man. Much love, baby. I'm going to keep listening.
Salute. All right, Streets got no love. Salute. Yeah. Hold on a second, guys. We're having a good discussion here. Let me just check with Deeds to make sure we're not glitching. We were glitching earlier, and you know what? That's fine. It's just a research show. Okay, Deeds says we are okay. Now, thank you, Deeds. If we have to do an edit, we'll do an edit. Okay, and the homie's tapping in from North Jersey. Okay. Is the black upper class losing to the lower class? Again, this is not a trending topic, but we had such a good response on the show that I did 2 days ago should we go back to segregation to help, do better, or for people to do better? I forget the exact title, but so today I want to ask the question: is the black upper class losing to the lower class? And what are the things that the lower class is doing? There is such a disarray with regards to what is acceptable, what is, that's racist. And if you don't understand certain points and times in history, you'll buy into the bullshit. You will then become part of the lower class, or the thinking that prevents you from reaching a certain status. Does that make sense? I'm sure it does. Frank, I got your donation. Thank you so much. Men need to make more than 100K, then start taking 3 to 4 day trips to the DR, Colombia, Brazil. Why, man? Why? You go to these places where they have governments of corruption. A lot of those girls have fucking urinary tract infections, three times a month. Why? Frank, with all due respect, go to these places, to lay down with a nigga bitch with straight hair? Thank you for your donation. Well, let's not just consider black people to be the lower class. Rob Lowe, Rob Lowe always has knowledge to spit. Rob Lowe, thank you for tapping in. Thank you for your support. Are you there, Rob Lowe? 201.
Peace, peace. Salute.
How
you doing,
man? It's cracking, Rob Lowe.
So I wanted the lower class and the upper class.
Yes.
The black upper class, black lower class.
Yes.
I don't think the black upper class is keeping did you say no? You said the black lower class.
Let me repeat the question for you, because you have great input. Is the black upper class losing to the lower class? Now, losing the battle or the war, I don't know, but are they losing? The black upper class that is striving for greatness. A lot of black people are trying to do better, trying to be better. There's an old saying, each one teach one, but they're fighting a sea of lower class, whoever they may be. Please.
I absolutely don't see it like that. And when you say upper class, to me, that sounds like the black bourgeoisie, whatever the case may be. I don't look at the upper class as working class people that might have a house or a brownstone, whereas the lower class is in the projects. I don't look at it like that. How I'm looking at and how you're phrasing this question, I do not believe that the black lower class is overpowering. The lower class is overpowering the upper class. I believe that the upper class is empowering the lower class to feed off of each other and do exactly what they're doing.
Okay.
And I believe they want them to keep doing what they're doing so that they do not reach where they have reached. Because a lot of this has to do with influence. A lot of this stuff that's going on in the lower class neighborhoods with the music, with the things that you see on TV, the things that are being permitted, those things are being empowered by the upper class.
Yeah. If I can jump in right there, Rob Lowe, that's how I started out my show, by saying the greatest power is influence. Continue.
Right. And because of that fact, they are making money off of these lower class people that don't even realize that they're being used in this way. To be proud to come from something that is nothing and say that it is everything. I'm never leaving the projects and this, that, there. And the projects is not the standard for low vibrational people. It's not. My family.
I didn't say it was. Rob, I didn't say it was.
Not you. Not you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you said that. I'm saying the belief. Like, people always use the projects as the standard of, that's the realest place ever. Yeah. No, man. Some of the most intelligent people that I know came from the projects because it had nothing to do with, oh, I'm there, so that means that I'm ignorant.
Right.
I don't have no job. I'm not educated. I have no motivation. I have no hope. That's a lie. That is being pushed by upper class people. See, an ignorant person, period, is going to be and do what an ignorant person sees and does.
Facts.
That has nothing, one has nothing to do with the other. So when you start talking about are they winning, how are they winning? Ain't no lower class people have no television network, video network. These are being pushed by people who own these things, that have the access to these things, and all they're doing is they'll go into the ghetto with a mic, with a camera, and they'll look for people doing stuff like that. And then now, here we are 20, 30, 40, 50 years later, where people are making music about it. People are making money off of it. When, like you said, Reverend Knight, the best thing I could do is not become one of you.
Yeah. The best thing I can do for poor people is not become one of you. But hang on a second,
Right.
Rob, I don't want to go too far left. We've already said, and I've made it clear, that I've known throughout my lifetime people who lived in the projects who have high standards and high morals, ethics, and values. That's not the focus. The focus is the black upper class losing to the lower class. Now, let me just say this as well. You know, once upon a time, the boule, which is still a thing, very much a thing now, but the black upper class now can also be considered the working class. So my question is, are they losing to those who have more influence, the greatest power? And I'm saying the lower class has social media. We can go online and see women, mothers and grandmothers, sucking on a goddamn cucumber, describing, yeah, girl, you know, this is how you suck a dick. And she'll get 20 million fucking views. Meanwhile, somebody else can be talking about economics and finance and barely get 1,500 views. So the question is the black upper class losing to the lower class? Please.
If you put it that way, I would say if you're saying that the upper class has common sense and civility, and is it losing to that ignorance?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
that's what I'm saying.
Because Tyler Perry makes billions off of reselling and repackaging that poor ignorant nonsense.
Facts.
Puff Daddy has lost even the people who used to proliferate the. Let me stop.
Take your time. You're about to make a great point. You're about to make a great point. I know where you're going. Go ahead. Come on.
He has lost the people who used to project that ignorance to the very same shit the very same stuff that they promoted.
Right.
He lost them to that, and he benefited off of it and has made it, and still is projecting it. Still, there is no, like you said, a coat drive. But what's the coat drive going to do?
Right.
What about a book drive?
Right.
What? They don't need no coat because, see, the way that these young kids do this fashion, it can be 12 degrees outside and they'll just have a hoodie on.
Right.
Not because they can't get a coat, but because that's what their fashion trend dictates to them.
Right.
They don't need that. They need a book. They don't need a phone. They need a book. They need information. They need knowledge.
Right.
See, the information and the knowledge that they're getting off of social media is a visual thing. And that visual is lying to them. Never believe your lying eyes. All of this stuff that you see, like you said, a grandmother having a cucumber challenge.
Yeah.
How did she end up like that? Well, if you think about it, if she's a grandmother, she's probably dancing to that Biggie, can't you see? Somehow you hypnotize me.
Right.
And she done had a kid. She done had a kid who had a kid.
Right.
Where they're probably 10 and 12 years apart from each other.
Right.
That's how ignorance is projected.
Yeah.
Somebody's making money off of that. So if they're making money off of that, the upper class, I mean, like I said, man, common sense, I think, is what's losing.
Yeah.
Common sense.
Rob Lowe, I appreciate you as always, man. Thank you. I appreciate you tapping in.
Salute, Star.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Okay. Rob Lowe, always spitting knowledge. Always spitting knowledge. Salute to my homie, Lord Jamar. Anybody remember Lord Jamar had a book challenge? Huh? Lord Jamar. Well, a matador of hip-hop and rap music. Lord Jamar, he had a book challenge. Advo, sit tight. I see you in the queue. Sit tight. Let me get him in the queue. Hold on a second. Advo, you're up next. Sit tight. Okay. It's the black upper class losing to the lower class. This is not directly targeted at the black lower class. Again, you have to include the Hispanics and others. Some of those Russian boys, woo! Shit! Anybody from Brooklyn ever have any interdealings with some of those Russians that come over here? Talk about gangster and lower class. Those boys in Russia are making babies and leaving the baby mamas. We did a show on that one time. It didn't get that much traction. I forget the single mother rate in Russia, if memory serves me correctly, is 4 times more than black single mothers here in America. Do you know that? If you care, if you don't care, you just don't care. I vote sit tight. I'm coming to you next. Let me promote one of my sponsors here on the screen. www.ads.com. This is a platform that can help you get traction. If you're starting a new channel, I urge you to go there. This guy will give you a consultation. You must say Star sent me. It's right there. www.ads.com. If you have a new platform, you're trying to figure things out, go there and say, hey, the hater sent me over here, okay? Hey, Penelope, I got your support. Thank you so much. Yes, Penelope, I've been watching hockey a lot as of late. I was a big hockey supporter. I used to play a lot of ice hockey growing up in the 70s, 80s. 80s I pulled away. I got busy pursuing my life, my goals and dreams. And then there was a period for like maybe a decade where I said, I got other things going on, but I have been watching everybody lately, and I'm going to do a show on hockey, I guess maybe next week, all right? But thank you so much. Advo, is that you? Area code 213, tapping in on a Tuesday. Advo.
Yo, Stars, the Colombian, what's going on?
Good to hear from you, man. Where do you want to start? 2 topics. Is the black upper class losing to the lower class?
Do you get my my Cash App? Do you check the Cash App that I sent you?
I'm looking at it right now, sir. I'm looking at it right now. Thank you.
All right, so I want to rephrase your title with our black people. I think it should be, instead of lower class with underclass with upper class, it should be black people versus second-class citizen, aka felons. I feel like within black culture or Latino culture or just minorities, we have this difference between, let's say, the black nerds like myself, and you have the people that are the Nation of Islams of this world, the people that come from jail. Like right now I'm in LA, in a place that people ask you been to Central Bookings? And if you say no, you consider a lower class person,
a square,
a
nerd.
You never been to Bookings.
A nerd, a square, yeah.
Come on. So I do believe that in the last 30 years, the lower class has been winning. The drug dealers, the pimps, the lower vibration people. Like you said, look, I went to see Chris Sharp rock and I put it on YouTube, I gained 400 subscribers in 1 week.
Come on.
So low vibration is what they want to push, and low vibration is really winning. But at the end of the day, in the long run, I believe that the working class person, the person that goes to community college and actually gets a job, 30 years on, they live in better than the person that goes in and out of the system, and they're basically, victims of prison like for profit prison.
Okay. Stay with me for a second, Ivo. You're a young man. What are you again? I forget. 26? I forget. How old are you?
No, I'm not 20. I'm 32.
Okay. You're an old Colombian. Okay.
Yes, I made it. I made it to 30s. That's a lot, And I haven't.
So the influence of the lower class. You see, it's not just about having money. There are certain people who will get on social media and say things, and you look at them like, damn, you have no class about yourself. But I'm here for the bullshit. I can admit that at my age, I wake up to the bullshit. I want the bullshit first thing in the morning. I go to the Grand Report. You know that site? The Grand Report.
Yeah, hell yeah. You put me on.
Nigga! Advo, I'm on the grandreport.com before MSNBC, before CNN, before Fox News, before anything, the Grand Report. I want the bullshit. So the question,
Same here.
Is the black upper class losing to the lower class? That's a question. Come on.
When it comes to influence, yes. And influence is power. Clout is power. Clout's an addiction.
Yeah.
I do agree with you when people be like, oh, like people got to go travel to another country. No, hell no. You know how much I like American Wi-Fi? Like people like that, those small little things. So like going back to another country is not gonna fix things. I think what's gonna fix things is by focusing on telling like giving kids a reward system for being like nerdy, let's just say, because like we look at nerdy or being like knowing things, like being the smart person in the room for a lot of black people is not like important. Right. Like I always say, like I had as an Afro Latino, my relationship with black people started when I started smoking weed. Like I don't know if they started trusting me more or anything, but I always had this very like, oh, you're not black. Like black people always want to take your blackness when they want to, and I'm like who are you to tell me if I'm black or not?
Advo, with all due respect, I hear you keep talking that Afro Latino shit. With all due respect, you look like a nigga from Roxbury to me.
I do. I'm not saying I'm not. I might look like David Ortiz, but sometimes the thing is this.
You look like a nigga from Roxbury. You look like you grew up, like with Bobby Brown. Come on, stop it. Now, hang on a second. Before you go, promote your platform. Do you focus on the bullshit? I haven't been to your channel in a while. Do you focus on the bullshit?
So I rebranded. So I go as the Dordashian.
Okay.
So I do live streaming. By the way, today I'm gonna go in an hour to go support Jason Kessler, a Jewish man that got hit by a microphone in 1,000 Oaks.
Niggas get shot every day. But now hang on a second. Advo, have you done a story yet? Because I want the details on who hit NBA Youngboy's baby mom in the head with the gun. Pow! Did you see her shit split open? Did you see it?
Well, apparently it's either one family member or another baby mama.
Okay.
Because you gotta know that he has this tendencies of making them fight.
Advo, and keep me up to speed. If you do that video, I will promote your video in my community section, okay?
Definitely. I believe he's trying
to hit NBA Youngboy's baby mama in the head with the fucking ratchet. God, she's sitting in the car.
Hey, I'm on that. They
hated missing nothing. She's sitting in the car talking about, I had to hold the baby like this because this bitch was trying to come in. That bitch was trying to come in. They're taking over, Advo.
And you remember that he also pushed Mayweather's daughter to allegedly, like,
Yaya. Her name is Yaya. Name is Yaya.
Yeah. Yaya Mayweather.
Okay, all right. Good to talk to you, man.
Thank you, Advo.
Thank you, man. Yes, sir.
Stop.
Yes, sir. Okay, my nigga Avo. Whew. Troll babies. Anybody know what happened to NBA YoungBoy's baby mama? Somebody slapped her with the tool. Somebody slapped her with the tool. Illuminati Young got your donation. Star, random question. Is Stevie Nicks better than Pat Benatar? Hell no. What are you smoking, Sherm stick? Pat Benatar is a singer. I like Stevie Nicks, she's, Stevie is one of the greats. You can go your own way, your own. And she did monster hits on her own. Her and Tom Petty, stop dragging my heart around. But she's no Pat Benatar, my nigga. What are you smoking? Oh. Anyway, thank you for your donation. Hey, Cherie. Thank you, Cherie. Okay, you see that? She says, Star, you put me up on that site, Pink Book Lessons, and it's fire. Absolutely. Pink Book Lessons on YouTube. I don't know if that the channel owner wants her name mentioned, but oh man, they get it in. She gets it in, pardon me. Kevin, I got your donation. Kevin says, peace, Star. Thank you so much for your support. All right, Tuesday afternoon. Richie Rich got your donation. Star, nobody loses to low-class blacks, even MIGs. Oh, whoa. Okay. Not sure where you're going, but okay. Thank you. It's a conversation I wanted to have here today. Conversation. Nug, where are you? Nug, are you calling in? Nug says after the show, let me know about. Nug, holler at me, man. Call in, Nug. Promote your platform right now. Hang on a second. Nug's got a brand new video up. Nug, I got you, man. Whatever you need, I got you. Yes, you can get the $75 discount if you purchase something from this site right here, Nug, and send me a screenshot. Where is it? Hold on, everybody, hold on. I'm doing too much. Oh man, is it? Where is Foxy? Okay, right here. Hold on. Nug just tapped in. I got you covered, Nug. If you purchase anything for $75. Send me a screenshot, foxyandbeautiful.com, okay? But buy something for your niece, your sister, your auntie, your grandmother. She's got some great clothes on that site, okay? And folks, if you want to be a sponsor, please take notice to how I promote my sponsors. I get people to go purchase things from their platforms. That's very, very important to know, okay? I don't just, put your stuff on the screen and say, go there. I promote it, okay? And I'll put my email address on the screen, pardon me, for those who want to become sponsors. Okay, let's go to area code 808. Doing research here. Good afternoon, good evening. Are you there? 808. We're asking
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
A few questions. Yes, sir. How are you? I'm
good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Any knowledge as to who hit NBA YoungBoy's baby mama with the ooh-up? Pow! Stitches.
No.
Stitches in her shit.
No, not at all. I was calling about the prison situation, and also about black people in America.
Let's go.
Okay, so let's start off with the prison situation. I did 3 years. I did state and federal time, and it's not set up like that. Like, it can be, but it's not really set up like that.
Okay.
The guys that are into the homosexual type stuff, nobody's really taking anything. People that's doing that in there, they already homosexual anyway.
Okay.
And they're willingly in relationships, willingly giving it up, to whoever they choose, like real relationships on the street.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily, the taking it. But again, some areas, depending on what levels you are, it happens, but not like what people think. I've witnessed, like, what you would call the hardest gangsters ever that you would think in there running to mess with the gay, whatever they are, trannies or whatever you call it. I don't know whatever they call themselves today, whatever they are. They are willingly having these relationships in the prison. So there is very little of taking anything.
Okay.
I want to say that about that.
Okay.
And the second, go ahead. What do you want to say?
Well, no, stay with me for a second, because when I first started the show, I said I have no knowledge here. I don't want to just regurgitate old stories from friends of mine, COs that are now retired or whatever, And I'm not trying to clown anybody, but I'm seriously asking: did anyone have to become a prison wife to survive? To survive. As you've already said, hang on a second. As you've already said, and I agree with you, some guys just surrender the booty. They surrender. But they come out, and in their minds, nah, I'm not gay, or they totally denounce what they had to endure. So I'm not even saying that they're quote unquote gay or homosexuals. Maybe they're trisexuals. They tried it. It didn't work. I did what I had to do to survive. Fuck out of here with that shit. There's guys actually walking around here like that, man. Come on.
Yeah, you're right. I've witnessed it. I've witnessed it a lot of like when it's visit days. I watch guys. They got girls coming to see them, but when the women don't even know. Like, when you leave, honey, he's going back in and going to mess with the punk. I've watched a lot of that.
Or he might be the punk. He
is. And I'm going to tell you this, too. He was that before he got in prison. So it not necessarily when you come to prison, that's what you change into. You already had those tendencies on the street.
Right.
And you in the joint now, and you having your free run and free will of whoever else is involved in that, or who else enjoys that, too.
Right.
It's different. It's a lot to that. So, but as far as strong arming, very little to know. But again, let me stress, it does go on, but not what people think.
Right. A nigga going gangster talking that rah shit and then get traded.
Oh, I'm talking about super thug.
Yeah, super thug. And then he gets traded for a bag of Fritos and some ramen noodles.
Now that's funny. That is super funny. Now you now I'm gonna tell you this. Now if you have a drug problem, or if you have a gambling problem, or you owe commissary or something, and you lose out on that, then you might have a problem there. You might have, if you don't pay your debts, then you might have a problem.
Right. Come on.
And that's nasty. That's nasty business when that goes down.
Right. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I want to go on to the black situation, black higher levels,
upper class, upper class. Go ahead.
Upper class. There we go. Okay, so upper class blacks are definitely okay. So the issue is, I noticed, what I believe, my opinion is, you have social media who's able to highlight ignorance, the nonsense, the ghetto stuff that goes on, and it shines a light on it, and it's projected to the world, so it's highlighted and overshadows everything. And we know this about media. They go out of their way to show the ignorance before they show anything. Like, a kid can be straight A's in school, goes from high school straight to college with straight A's. They'll sweep that under the rug. Yeah. But a 16-year-old kid shoots up his whole neighborhood. It's on every platform available. There is there is a highlight between the two, and definitely overshadowed for the successful elite black people. But I'm gonna tell you this: we have to separate black people from niggers. There's two different factions. They're the niggers with all the ignorant stuff, and then they're the black people who are, like you said, paying taxes, have careers. If they choose to do religion, that's what they do. Have families, pay taxes, do this, do that. That follow the law. Black people who are doing that, we have to separate ourselves from these ignorant niggas, and really the ignorant niggas need to be exterminated, because we are other people, outsiders, other races and all,
clump us together, look at us all the same. And this is the issues where law-abiding black people have issues because we're all clumped up together and we all look as the same. We need to define the line and separate from the ignorance. And if we can
I jump in?
Ignorance.
Can I jump in?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm gonna let you finish. I want to say this with all sincerity. I heard what you said about extermination. I think the niggers would kill the upper class and the working class if there were that type of war.
Oh, I agree.
So to speak.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, but you know the thing.
Hang on, let me get this point across.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll let you finish it. You could be in your house, sir. Walls barricaded, your door barricaded, your 2x4s over the windows. You could have 200 rounds. If the niggas are coming for you, they're going to get you. You're thinking you're going to shoot everybody, and you know what they do? They set your house on fire. Or you got to come out at some point. You got to come out. Your house is on fire. And when you come out, there's 500 of them.
Right.
All over the place. I think, the niggers would win. Go ahead, finish up.
I hear what you're saying, and you're right on that perspective. But the thing about black people is we're able to outsmart the niggas. The niggas are not smart at all. They are all brute force, all hyper emotional. You can beat them easily by outthinking them, and that's the number one thing.
I don't know about that.
I outthink you anyway. So I outthink you and put you in positions where the extermination comes by self-destruction.
I appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think the niggers would win. I'm not even playing. I think the niggas would win. The niggers don't give a fuck. The niggers are running up on people walking into their homes in broad daylight. Before you put the key in the goddamn cylinder, they're coming up the driveway with the stick. The niggers are tearing San Francisco apart. Tearing it apart. You park your car, you go inside to make a cup of herbal tea, and then you hear the car alarm. You look out the window, the niggers followed you, and then smashed your window, and they're taking your bags before you even got a chance to relax. Star Report back in the building Tuesday afternoon, and we are having a good discussion here about a topic that's not necessarily trending. However, is the black upper class losing to the lower class? If you're just now joining me, the black upper class could also be the black working class, okay? And when I say the lower class, I'm not just talking about black people, It could be Hispanics, Caucasians, anybody who has, taken part in who takes part in celebrating the ignorance of American society. Okay, many people do. Okay. Also, I have a subtopic here. A showrunner. Did you become a prison wife to survive? Fellas, did you become a prison wife to survive? I don't expect anybody to admit to that, but if you know someone, you might want to chime in. If you yourself was a correction officer, that's a reality. And that particular topic came to mind because, just again, scanning the internet and thinking about the reality of people who glorify prison now. American prison, to my knowledge and understanding, is damn near a country club in comparison to other, countries. it's a walk in the park. You've got recreation, you've got religion, you've got education. When it's cold outside, you've got warmth inside. When it's hot outside, you got air conditioning. They're building new mega prisons. So rehabilitation, all this stuff is going to be going on. So I can only imagine the institution of marriage would be broadened, if that, makes any sense, okay? All right, also on the screen, guys, there's the PayPal information if you want to contribute to the show. If you don't have Cash App, thank you so much. Hold on a second. Lance, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for your support. Okay, he doesn't necessarily have a question. He just wanted to support the machine. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I do research in the afternoons. That's when I comb through things and try to enhance the show in the evenings, okay? And again, Brooklyn Crook, I got your donation. Thank you so much. If you want to call in, just shoot me an email and say, Star, I'm on the line. Let me go to area code 340 right now. 340, are you there doing research? Good afternoon, good evening.
Hey, good.
340.
Hey, good afternoon.
Hey.
Good afternoon, 105.15, I'm checking in.
Hey, what's up, man? Good to hear from you. It's cracking.
Hey, what's up, man? I was just chiming in on the subject about, if the lower class is gonna take over the upper class.
Yeah.
I don't think so, man. Okay. I don't think so.
Okay.
I personally think, right, that all the ignorance we see, and we see the effects of our behavior, how bad it's getting. We see that the kids younger and younger are getting wilder and wilder.
Okay.
I think at some point, for our own survival, survival, we're gonna start moving different, man. Just for our own survival, it's like an instinct. It's gonna be like, okay, we see we're going in a direction that we can't sustain. It's time to backpedal and act like we have some sense, I think that's how we always do. I think it always goes that way.
Can I ask how old are you, sir? And I do get your donations. I appreciate your support. How old are you, sir?
I'm 36.
Okay. Let's go back for a second. You referenced kids, yes?
Say that again?
You referenced kids in terms of, the ignorance or the lower class. You referenced kids.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What about the mothers of famous rappers or the mothers of athletes? I have a list right here. I don't want to put anybody's mom on blast, but we've got mothers. We've got old bitches in their 50s doing the most. These old bitches with gray edges, they know better. They are clout chasing more than their goddamn sons or daughters, and it's like, God damn, fall back. I don't think it's hang on, let me just get this point out, and I'll let you finish up. Of course, you know this. It's not just the young little RTs. We've got old ass mothers saying all sorts of goofy shit, taking naked selfies. It's like, God damn. Let your son shine. Let your daughter, this is your daughter's time. Stop it. Again, I don't want to attack anybody's mom. I'm not saying no names, but what about these old ass clout chasers of the lower class? Go ahead.
Right. See, this might sound controversial, right? But to me, like I said, right, when we see this behavior, you see your response that you had to seeing this behavior. I think a lot of us are having that same sentiment, and if it didn't get as far as it got, then we wouldn't see how bad it could be. Right. So, and when we look at these models, and I personally believe, more than half of what's going on is the models to blame. That's my stance, right? At least 70-75% is the models. That's my take. But
okay,
I mean, the kind of behavior that these people taking on, it usually comes with unhealthy lifestyles. It's not just your morale; it's your physical health. Everything comes together in a pair, right?
Okay.
So these people are gonna die off soon. We're gonna see it from the sidelines, and we're gonna say, hey, I don't want to take that route. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna enjoy my life in a different way. Some of us, we did things that didn't make sense back in the days, and we live to tell about it. You know what I'm saying? Everyone isn't going to live to tell about it. So, you know, those people are the example of how not to live. And I think that's going to have some people are going to see and they're going to straighten up because they see how they end up.
Well,
and that's just how it goes to me.
Stay with me. Stay with me. But you see, we've got the internet now, so the ignorance lives on. It lingers now. It lingers now. I mean, listen, I've never been depressed in my life. I'm too much of a narcissist. I'm too conceited, confident, and convinced. However, when I'm in bed sometimes at night, I'll wake up and maybe I need a little sip of water or something, or maybe I have to go choke the snake. I grab the phone like everybody else does. I will go to Instagram and then I will see shit and I will say, Jesus Christ, why did I look at these savages, these fucking spear chuckers, these fucking porch monkeys? Why did I do that? Now I really feel bad. So the ignorance, it lingers, and social media is going to make sure that it gets regurgitated over and over and over. What do you say about that?
That's true. But you know the thing about influence, right? This is my take on influence.
Come on.
Influence only steers you down a road that you are already destined to go. You see what I'm saying?
Come on.
I don't think anyone 100% against their wills goes down a wrong path. I think it was already in us, and the influence just told us how to get there. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
we all gotta go down the road we gotta go down and end up where we end up. And I just think that people have this, you know, survival thing. We naturally have this survival thing in us, desire to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And once we see that it's not all fun and games, we're gonna start to turn the tide. That's just how I see humanity always does. You know, that's what I see happening. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to say, okay, people with common sense, right? We enjoy the entertainment, but the people who are entertaining us, they might get a little money or they might get a little clout from what they're doing, but ultimately they're breaking themselves down. And you know, after a while, people are gonna start realizing this behavior is breaking me down. I need to chill. You know what I'm saying? So
hang on a second. Let me just respond to what you're saying. Not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying that, but I you know, listen, man. You spend Skrilla. I get your donation, so I want to give you ample time here. You said that. What did you say about influence? If it's your destination, what? Say that again. Do you remember what you said? Influence just it just steers you on the road that you're bound to take anyway. Right. Okay. Stop right there. Stop right there. There are unfortunate situations. In the state of Florida, they used to have, and they probably still do have, this law where if 4 people are in a car, they pull up to a convenience store, a 7-Eleven. One person goes in that store to buy a coffee cake and a Snapple. All on his or her own, that person decides to pull out the blammer and rob the place. The other three people didn't know that fuckwad inside the store getting the coffee cake and the Snapple. They had no knowledge of what fuckwad was going to do. Fuckwad then decides, hey, you know what? I'm going to shoot the person because he or she is not moving fast enough. Pow!
Right.
The other 3 people in that vehicle, to my knowledge, used to or still do get charged with that goddamn robbery, possession of a firearm, and a murder. Do you know that? So you're saying you're saying that's their destiny?
No, okay. Listen.
Got him.
That person who went in, right? That person who went in and committed the crime.
Yeah, fuckwad.
They're guilty, yes?
His name is Fuckwad.
They ran for what they did, right? And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with, I've lived in Florida.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that law at all. I think that's a L. That's a L for Florida, man.
That's a L.
Did you say you live in
You know what
Florida?
I'm saying?
Whoa, did you say you live in Florida?
I've lived in Florida. I was actually born there before I went to the islands, but I've lived in Florida as an adult too.
Have you ever heard of that
Yeah.
law? I forget the name of that law, but that was a real thing, and that's why I always said, "Whoa, I got to be careful in Florida." But go ahead.
Yeah, you can be in the commission of a crime with your friend, and your friend get killed, and they charge you with your friend's death.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
They don't play, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is unfortunate. That is unfortunate, but that's a decision made by the politicians and the people as a collective. I don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? But
Shit, that's a crazy. And there's another state.
That's crazy.
There's another state. I forget. There's another state where they have that same law. So yeah, man. Sometimes circumstances beyond our control. We can't just say. Well, I can't say. Maybe if you feel different, we can't say, hey, that's your destiny. Yo, I made a mistake. I didn't know he was gonna blast the goddamn grocery worker. But go ahead and finish up, man. I want you to have the last word, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, when I say destiny, when I mean destined to go down that road, I mean down that road means a frame of mind, a decision to live a certain way.
Gotcha.
And like I said, some of us did take a wrong road, and we live to tell about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody doesn't get lucky like that. And the people who aren't lucky are the examples for the ones who will get lucky. That's just how life goes, man.
Yeah. I appreciate the call and the support, man. Thank you for your support. Thank you.
All right.
Yes,
Respect.
sir.
Yes,
Respect. Yes, sir. Yeah, you're sitting there, you're relaxing. You're talking to your pregnant fiance. She's 6 months pregnant with your baby. You've got a job. Life is good. And then fuckwad just goes in the goddamn store and gets to blasting. He shoots a bitch in the chest who's got nothing to do with nothing. Bang! Hits her with a .357 long nose. Of course, she dies. You get hit with that in the chest. You're out of here. Your life's over in Florida. Skylar Saunders, are you out there, sir? That's the homie right there on YouTube, youtube.com/@Sky Saunders. Sky Saunders, okay? Skylar's got a new video in my community section. Hold on, guys. Let me make sure I promote this, man. And guys, I want you to go check out Skylar's channel. Do not forget this man has sponsored many hate-a-thons, okay? So his new video, pardon me, it's at the top of my community section. Celtics Paul Pierce goes public, crushing on Ruby Rose. What's wrong with that? This man has achieved greatness in the NBA. He's old. I don't know if he's divorced or with kids. I don't know. And he wanted to, holler at a younger female. She gave him her number. What's the problem? Why are people upset? Hold on a second. What's the guy's name? Something just jumped into my mind here. Anyway, check out Skylar Saunders, guys. Tell him I sent you, okay? Elvis, the Chef Rosenberg, got your donation, sir. Thank you for tapping in. Okay. 105 fam, I got your donation. Thank you so much. He says 340 chime in. Okay, yes, we just spoke. Thank you so much. Is this Randy? 209 tapping. Randy, is that you? Or is that someone different from a 209 area code?
Que lo que.
Randy, my nigga, was cracking, was shaking. How you feel, man?
I feel good, man.
Let's go. Let's talk about it.
And I wanted to bring up a point, man. There was this guy that I heard about, grew up in Scotch Plains, New Jersey.
Jesus.
bright kid, right? Bright kid, educated. And throughout his formative years, he chose to chill with the low lives in New York,
right,
do drugs,
right,
and hit licks. So yes, the upper class is losing to the monkey stuff, you know, because even kids that know better and come from great backgrounds with two parents still end up doing drugs and in the pit hole of New York, setting niggas up in Brooklyn.
Purveyor of lower frequencies. Proud.
Yes.
Proud bottom feeder. Come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting niggas locked up. Playing the privilege card.
Yeah.
When it was time to do a bid. Throwing niggas not under the bus, but under the fucking train.
In front of the train. Yeah.
In front of it to save his skin. And holding up the sign, I did it. If they ever, by heaven, you know what, get saved.
Right.
So yes, the bottom feeder culture is eating up the higher society because people from society want to be niggas.
Winning. Yeah.
You got Shannon Sharp on TV smoking black amounts and backwoods and drinking Hennessy on ESPN promoting this on the Disney Network talking about the black experience. When he is a millionaire, when he could be talking about steak and Chardonnay.
Right.
He's talking about Hennessy and backwoods.
Yeah. You got game goofy niggas like Steven Jackson going to oh my goodness, going into a
All block.
Yo, I'm checking in. Checking in? He fucking goofy. What are you doing in the O block?
Taking pictures with Vaughn's mural. Taking pictures with a dead man. A serial killer.
Let's go, Randy. Let's go.
You got good value poom like Mayweather's daughter procreating with young boys.
Oh, easy.
Hey, I'm just saying you got a young lady that comes from Silver Spoon.
Yeah.
Nice lineage. Doesn't have to work for nothing, but she uses to lay in bed with a nigga like Young Boy.
Yeah.
Kim Trail. A nigga that's bragged about having herpes. And like 5 baby mamas.
Yeah. Do you know who hit his other baby?
Got pistol whipped.
Do you know who hit his other baby mama in the head with the gun? She got like a bunch of
the
stitches.
The goons. The same ones that ran up on that nigga in the mall and try to take his chain. They outside right now. The lower vibration beings are out and about.
Right.
And we're ready to consume the world right now.
Right. And winning. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Now hang on a second. You yourself, with all due respect, you were uptown Manhattan, Washington Heights. You were going to school. You decided to do some dumb shit. You took some work and you said, "Yo, I'm out of here." Now you're in somewhere in the West Coast in the mountains.
Now I'm a suburban dude. Now I don't gotta hit licks no more. Got me a white woman. Hit the biggest lick right now. About to have me some blue-eyed babies running around terrorizing the next generation.
Yeah.
You know his mom go tell his Masi, your daddy was a gangster. Your daddy was a real nigga.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, Randy, before you go, any experience? Have you ever been to prison? You never spoke about prison. Any?
No. I got cousins in prison doing life and shit, man. Puerto Rico.
Okay. Well, we're talking about did you become a prison wife to survive? Do you know anybody that had to be a prison wife to survive?
But I did hear a funny story from my homeboy while he was doing a bid for a domestic violence.
Come on.
He said he was in Rikers in the day room. And all the Bati mans grilled everyone and said, everybody out that doesn't have a husband, we're going to have a meeting. And he said he saw some of the most gangsters niggas look to the left, look to the right, and get out the room.
I believe it. I believe it.
My boy said, "Yo, I didn't even know you could get a wife in there." He said, "I know this place comes with one of those."
Right.
You know, niggas will do things to survive, bro. It's
To
the
survive.
animal way.
To survive. Yeah, shit is real.
Like people become low vibrating beings to survive and to support their habits. You know, it's the way of the animal. Stay up, man.
Stay up, Randy. Good to talk to you. Salute. Okay. Randy tapping in. Whew. Guys, I mentioned this the other day. I'm not trying to kick his back in, but what's going on with Cam Newton? Come on, man. What are you doing, dog? Is he finished in the NFL? I know he broke his back and he came back, and how are his stats? I never really focused on Cam Newton's stats. He never won the big one. I would never say he's trash. Cam Newton was not trash. He had potential. He made it to the Super Bowl. He didn't get the ring. What is going on with his YouTube channel, man? Sitting there with Crocs on, and I almost threw up. Fuck out of here. Sheesh. Guys on the screen, did you become a prison wife to survive? I'm talking to the fellas, not females. I saw a couple of videos with women talking about I'm a prison wife. Okay, that's nice. I'm talking about the niggas who go in, shit is a little too real for them. Anybody want to chime in? Hold on a second. Oh, wait a minute. I think this is Mr. Skylar Saunders right there. Skylar, is that you, sir, tapping in? Skylar Saunders, just talking about you. Man. Just talking about you. Good to hear from you, man. What's cracking?
I appreciate it. I went on my live, and they're like, "Oh, you just gonna go against Star?" I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I have to remind these people who claim to be day ones that you financed, man, some hate-a-thons and other things. So you're always welcome to call in. Let me get your information on the screen. Hold on a second.
Thank you.
I want to make sure that these people appreciate you. Pow, there you go. YouTube.com/@Sky Saunders. So my question this afternoon is the black upper class losing to the lower class? I'm not sure if you heard
I would say
how I lay this out.
No, go ahead.
But the black upper class now could be the working class as well. The lower class does not necessarily have to be black people. There are many different cultures, colors, and lack thereof that are mimicking black people. So when I say the lower class, it could be a many different types of groups. But that's the question. Is the black upper class losing to the lower class? Skylar Saunders.
No, because I would say that they're just beginning. They're just starting out. And within the last 20 years, you had, 6 billionaires come in that were foundational black Americans?
Okay.
So just to say how they have a positioning is to say that they're in a very infancy-like stage. It hasn't been like that. And the lower classes, like you said, black, white, brown, doesn't matter. They're gaining ground. I think there's more opportunities, especially because of the internet. You look at the explosion of the internet. How many different people are getting paid different ways.
Right.
Right. I think it's beautiful actually. If you look at the idea of how you can go from 0 to 60.
Whoa.
You can, yeah. I think it's beautiful how you can be in the lower class and zoom up to the upper class. And it's like what Jay-Z said, all us blacks got is sports and entertainment until we even. And that's the truth. I mean, you look at Michael Jordan, sports. Look at entertainment, Oprah Winfrey,
right.
Tyler Perry, and a few others. Foundational black Americans. I know you can include Rihanna, but she's not FBA. So that's my take on that, especially because
there shouldn't be warfare amongst the classes.
If I can jump
the
in,
bourgeoisie.
if I can jump,
sure.
If I can jump in,
sure.
Now, on a capitalist approach or perspective, I agree with you. It's beautiful.
Yes.
This is the land of opportunity. Anyone can come here. The culture in this country is capitalism. You're right, and I said that earlier. You know, so I can't be a quote unquote hypocrite, but is the black upper class losing not just influence, but are they losing any type of moral position or anything that should be of a matter of concern? Because the lower class, and if we're going to say the niggers,
white niggers, brown niggers, red niggers,
white niggers, all sorts of niggers.
Yep.
The niggers are breeding, and the niggers mean business. The niggers are coming from everywhere. They're trying to come into your homes. They're catching you lacking broad daylight now. There's no shame amongst the niggers. If they catch you anywhere, going to the ATM before you even get to the ATM, you know, you're stuck like Chuck, as they used to say. Your thoughts on that?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's the thing about the classes. I mean, it's outlined so the lower classes far outnumber and far outweigh the upper classes.
Yeah.
So they have to concern themselves with that. I think, you know, just my perspective is that, you know, lower classes are going to be thrive. They're going to raise up to the upper class. I'm not trying to make it Pollyanna or, you know, rose-colored glasses. Yeah. I'm just trying to paint a picture of how you can go to a community college at night school while you're working at McDonald's, you're sweeping the floors, and you can work your way up to a franchise and be making $100,000 a year. That's the beauty of this country.
Okay.
And that's somebody from a lower station, a lower class.
I hear you, and I just have a little pushback, just a little pushback.
Sure, yeah, of course.
Okay, so you know, I mean, yeah, capitalism, it has no moral base. I'm a capitalist. That's my religion, capitalism. However, the teachers who do not get a fair wage, they should be making 5 times the amount that they make. The teachers cannot even correct the smaller children now with red pens. You know that, right? They can't use red pens to correct the children.
I heard that. Yeah, just like
that's a reality. That's been a reality for way over 5 years, maybe even more. You can't use red pens to correct them because it could hurt their feelings. The fuck? We have young people now who I think there's a story recently. I forget what state that was. Maybe Nebraska, where they're no longer. Is it Salt Lake City or Nebraska, guys? Where there's no longer the requirement for reading, writing, and arithmetic to graduate. I forget what state that is. You remember that story? So we've got ignorance now breeding, and we've got people who don't even have to spell correctly anymore. Don't even have to spell. I get so bothered when somebody says "I'ma." Yo, I'ma. What do you mean? I'm going to? You dumb fuck. I'ma is now a word. Do you know that, Skylar? I'ma. It's a word now.
Yes. That's what is lingo. That is poor man's lingo, as they say.
Yeah. That's acceptable now. So the lower class, are we losing to them? I mean, I hear what you're saying about capitalism. Yes, but are we losing in other areas?
We are losing only because of the lack of capitalism. This is what I was saying the other day. There needs to be a direct separation of state and economics, just as there's a direct distinction between state and church, and for the same reasons. And I'm quoting Ayn Rand right there. I didn't mean to, try to say that was mine, like I'm some brilliant guy.
Right.
But you have like you said, teachers should be paid 5 times. You know how that can happen?
Oregon, that's the place. A new Oregon law, yes, suspends a requirement for a basic skills test in math, reading, and writing to graduate. Pardon me for interrupting. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Oregon.
No.
Go ahead.
Oregon. Okay. So I joke about this, but it could probably be serious. Yeah. I think in the future there's going to be a test. There's going to be SATs where you have to match the emoji with the emotion. You're going to have a whole test worth of emojis. That's what I think is going to happen. That's where we're going. That's where we're going.
Skylar, you know I enjoy talking to you, man. I appreciate you tapping in.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it.
Your new video should be at the top of the community section. If check that link, make sure it works, and make sure that you comment so that we can pin it. Okay?
All right. Thank you very much again.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, Skylar. Thank you so much. A new Oregon law. It's a law, goddammit. Suspends a requirement for a basic skills test in math, reading, and writing. Where is Dana with the data? Dana, where are you? Where is Dana? Hold on a second. I'm live. Dana and I were talking earlier. Is the black upper class losing to the lower class? I hope I live long enough to see a purge. I really do. I really want to see a purge. Where I can just walk out my goddamn house and just get to bucking, you know? Pong, 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 pong. Cars driving by, pong, 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 you know? I can just be dressed in Kevlar. Gangs of Love, where are you, sir? Oh, that man spends Skrilla. Hold on a second. Gangs of Love, thank you for your support, sir. You are appreciated. Where do you want to chime in? Gangs of Love.
What up, Star?
Yes,
Big
sir.
homie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, so I wanted to say that the black upper class is losing, and we're losing tremendously.
Come on.
Let me tell you 3 reasons why. So if you're black and you got money and you want to, well, put it like this. When you're black and you're poor, you can go to school for free. You get food stamps. Then you can live in the hood and drive a nice car. And a person like me who's working in a business, man, you damn near living as good as me. So black people is winning. Well, you could just say poor people. It ain't even a black people thing. And then if you also think about like going to college, my daughter can't get a scholarship because they say, oh, your parents make too much. But if you're poor, you can get a grant to go to school and not pay anything.
Can I jump in? Gangs of Love, can I jump in? You there?
I'm here.
Okay. I don't think college is necessary now. I am from a different era, and even though I'm a high school dropout and I did 1 semester at Hunter College, I don't think college is necessary now. There was a time when, you know, it was to your advantage. And for many years, I had wished that I went to college because I would have aligned myself with a better group of people, you know, productive members of society, as opposed to the whores, the worthless sluts, the scammers, the scum, the stick-up kids, and other people that, you know, I was intertwined with for many, many years. You know this already. I don't think college is necessary now. Everybody, you know, wants to work from home. Nobody wants to talk on the phone now. Everybody wants to text. So those relationships that once were crucial and beneficial, they're not even necessary now. What do you think about that? College.
I agree with you to a certain extent, but it just depends on what you want to do. I actually have a degree. I have a degree from University of Kansas.
But how old are you?
And
how old are you?
I'm in my low 40s, young 40s.
Yeah, you're old. Respectfully, I'm older than you, but you're old.
Yeah.
You're old.
Yeah, I'm an old nigga, Star.
You're
but
old.
look,
Yeah.
my daughter is going to school up there in New Jersey at St. John. And you know how much, like, she got partial scholarships, but I got to pay the rest out of pocket. But if she was poor, she could go to that Mickey Ficky for free.
Gangsta love.
So,
Gangsta love. With all due respect. With all due respect. How old is your daughter? How old is she?
She just turned 17.
I mean no disrespect to you, but if I had a 17-year-old daughter, I would say, girl, drop out of college and get you an OnlyFans account and get to the bag. It's not that I won't pay for college. I got the Skrilla. But girl, use what you got to get what you want and get up on OnlyFans. Get the
Make that money in a minute.
the dildo popping. I won't look. Girl, get to the bag.
Star, you wild. Nah, man. My daughter.
That's my daughter, nigga. It's my daughter. It's my daughter. Go ahead.
Yeah, nah, man. My daughter, she's a square. I want her to stay a square as long as possible because, you know, it's niggas like you out there.
Ain't nobody touching her. Ain't nobody touching her.
Man.
Girl, just play with yourself.
So, nah, we ain't trying to put her on OnlyFans.
Right.
But
right.
My last point is that, look.
Pardon self.
The reason
self.
Ghetto people, poor people are still winning is if you're black and you move into a white neighborhood, guess what? You still got to have that stigma of being poor and ghetto and black. When you move to an affluent neighborhood, you still got to carry that label. But if you're black and you ghetto and you stay in that neighborhood, then you're one of us. You're one of them. You fit in perfect. So
Gotcha.
I think overall black people that are doing good financially, I mean, we're still winning to a certain extent, but in the long, we win in the end. We're not winning as far as day to day.
Gotcha.
If you go to your cousin's house, guess what he got?
Yeah.
He got king crab legs, Angus, filet mignon, and he getting all that on food stamps.
Right.
But you spend 3 or 4.
And the niggas walking around in Gucci slides. Gucci slides.
No. So, but yeah, I just had to put that in there.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, Gangsta Love. Thank you, man. Thank you.
That's what's up, Star.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Thank you, man. Yes, sir. Hey, Cherie. Cherie says, Star, something. Okay. Cherie, do you know how many radio jobs I've had since 2006? Come on, get out of the past. Get it. I mean, I appreciate your donation, but stay on track, baby girl. The Russian mafia gave me $500,000 in 2009 to help them launch Pulse 87. You still talking about Power 105, girl? In 2010, Radio 1 gave me $500,000 to help them launch, pardon me, I came in for Charlemagne, who they fired, 100.3 The Beat. Thank you. You know what? Sheesh. Blade, I got your donation. Blade says, check your email kit. Thank you, Blade. Dana said, nigga, pick up the phone. Dana with the data. Thank you, Dana, for being available. It was cracking, girl.
How are you? That's funny.
Dana with the data. Also on YouTube, The Real Dana. What's going on? Let's talk about it.
Nothing. So I see your title is interesting, and then you did mention the Oregon State Board of Education. So they did two things, and then I just want to highlight this, and then I'll answer the topic question. But so they voted to remove the proof of mastery in reading, writing, math in order to graduate from high school until 2029.
Right.
So, you know, they are going to still give standardized testing, but they're not going to hold it against the students if they fail due to, you know, when people are on lockdown because of COVID or if English is second language. So standardized tests will not be given. Standardized tests will be given, but will not play a role in determining whether you receive your diploma. Right. And they are also eliminating zeros, if you cheat, they're not going to automatically fail you. So they have new guidelines for their grading system. So it's not really, that's not helping the kids. It's actually making it worse. So to answer the topic.
Well, now hang on a second, because you and I spoke earlier when I was on my way to the supermarket, and I told you my show title today is "The Black Upper Class Losing to the Lower Class," and I'm not saying that the lower class is necessarily black people, but we can say them if you like, and the black upper class could also be the black working class. I'm just asking the question. Take your time. Your thoughts, please.
Yeah, well, just looking at that question, answering it, the black upper class losing to the lower class. And I look at it like I'm thinking of it as a black boule, that sector, right? When you talk about the talented 10. And when you talk about everybody else, the working class, middle class, which is really no more middle class, but you get to a certain point to where if you're not trying to not so much educate, but help out and, keep the lineage of pride going, because a lot of the upper class sold out, so they don't care. So which means everybody else, they're just doing what they got to do to survive. And now you have an outsider coming in marketing the nonsense. So when we look at a Sexy Red and people like that, not just young people, but you got grown adults, dancing and twerking and reciting the lyrics. So, you done lost to the lower class because the lower class is profiting off of nonsense.
If I can jump in.
They're not going to listen.
If I can jump in. Something else I want to put on the table here. Back in the 40s, 50s, and the 60s, 30s, if you will, when black people were forced to work together and they were thriving more, and we've already spoke about that in the past. There was a more of a black 1% or a black, quote unquote, black upper class. But now the Byron Allens of the world, are they marrying black women? So are they really the black upper class, upper crust, or are they integrating with other races? Byron Allen.
Right. So that's what I mean, selling out. They are integrating with other races, other groups, others higher socioeconomic status groups of people, right? And they're not associating themselves with their lineage.
Right.
So if you are completely removing yourself, the rest of us, or them, they're going to fend for themselves. And if there's money to be made and then it's a market for it, then they're going to capitalize off it. Which means, what is it going to breed? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm twerking, I'm doing all this stuff, but then you have children looking at you doing the same thing. So you're breeding in more nonsense. But I guess you could say it's winning because you're getting money and you're getting, notoriety and going viral and becoming famous. And I just too want to highlight it on a political side real quick, because it is election.
Well, stay with. I want to just interject something, and then let's take our time. No rush. I'm not rushing you all. One of if you ask me, one of my best interviews that I've ever done on radio was with Lawrence Otis Graham. Lawrence Otis,
Our Kind of People.
Our Kind of People.
Yeah, I read that book.
He passed away in 2021. He and I had so much in common. He's from New Jersey. And he and I were, this was on Hot 97. I still have the audio. I might put that in my documentary. And we were talking about, going to Martha's Vineyard back in the 70s. I spent many summers there, the 70s, and we were talking about the inkwell and all sorts of stuff. And he kept it G until, the end. But at that time, it was 2000 because his book came out, I think, in 1999, if I'm not mistaken, Our Kind of People. I can Google this in a second. But he kept it real. And when I asked him, I said, well, have you ever laid down with a pink toe? He said, oh, no. No. The look of disgust on his face. Lawrence Otis Graham. Folks, if you don't know, Google that man. The book, Our Kind of People. They turned it into some type of movie, didn't they? Let me Google this.
It was a television show. Lee Daniels turned it into on Fox, but it got canceled after the first season.
But I'm talking about the book. Hold on a second, Lawrence Otis Graham.
The book's been around for decades. That's a really good book. Yeah. But it has a historical reference.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, but it also signifies a historical reference when you talk about high society, black high society.
The black boule.
And does it still
the black boule.
The black boule, yeah, Thomas said. So, and I'm going to separate the black boule from, quote unquote, the talented 10th. But the thing is, those people from, his group of people, we see those people now in Congress. We see them in political positions, sitting on in a C-suite. And they do not associate with Black Americans. Their intentions is to not associate with Black Americans. They deal with immigrants, the illegals, LGBT. They deal with everything else because they want to maintain their position, and that's what I mean by selling out. So, and that is part of what we're seeing now in politics, to where at one point the Republican Party was the upper echelon type of voters, and then now you're starting to see middle class to poor people voting Republican, i.e. for Trump. Even young black people, you have Sexy Red giving him an endorsement, and then now you Democrats as God. And you look at the Democrats being the ones where you see more and more
bust your head.
Black boule selling out, high society, high earning liberals. So it's like a switch. So, you can't sit up here and be black when you feel like it, especially when you're part of the upper class. So you are losing because you lost touch with your lineage.
Hold on, Dana. I'm sorry. What year did that book come out? Was it 99 or 98?
It was 99 or 98. I'll Google it.
Yeah. Oh man, what? I enjoyed talking to him. He stood his ground. Okay, December 1999, and he gave me a copy, signed it.
Wow.
He stood 10 toes down. I said, so Lawrence, you've never laid down with a pink toe? He said, oh no.
Yeah, but it's like, but that doesn't mean anything.
well, no. It was a good feeling, to know that here we have a man of stature, substance. He comes from wealth. We were talking about Jack and Jill and all that fly shit. And again, being up on Martha's Vineyard back in the 70s, going to Edgartown and other places. My grandfather was in the original film Jaws. So we had a good conversation. And I'm just saying, I appreciated him being firm in his stance. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
Right. No, let me just say that let me just add on to that because, okay, no, I never lay down with a white woman, but I think another good question would be, well, what have you done or have you given back to the black youth?
Stop it. No, that man was a lawyer. Dana,
outside. Yeah.
Go ahead. That man was a lawyer.
Did you do any public defending? Did you do any free legal, consultations? And outside of Jack and Jill, outside of the Black Boule nonprofit organization, which is a tax write-off, have you gone to the hood, the ghetto, the project,
Dana,
and offered your services to educate?
Dana, In the words,
Yes.
I can't speak for Lawrence Otis Graham, but in the words of Reverend Ike, the best thing I can do for poor people is not become one of you. Why did Lawrence Otis Graham have to do anything? Huh?
No. I like Reverend Ike, and I agree with that.
Other than be a model, an example for you. I don't have to come to the projects and pass out turkeys or give you a fucking block of cheese.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying pass out social aid or welfare. I'm talking about giving knowledge. One thing about Reverend Ike, I agree with that. I don't want to be one of you, but you know what? I could give you, you know what I'm saying, some motivational talkings. I could uplift your spirits and tell you is the way you present yourself is the way you think about yourself. And that's more valuable than a piece of turkey. But if you haven't even done that, and you haven't even, but
Dana, I appreciate you, but he put a book together called Our Kind of People. So he gave you an outline. Again, I don't have to speak for him, but let's not try to act like the man didn't.
No, and I'm not talking about him per se.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the whole Black Boule. Now, I'm not talking about that particular man, but that book was more like an autobiography. It wasn't a how-to. It wasn't how to get out the ghetto and make money.
Oh, no.
But I'm not. It wasn't a how-to book, however, but I'm not talking about Lawrence Graham. I'm just saying those type of people. My question would be, it's not who you're married to, because a lot of them do have black partners, and they think that, this makes me still black. No, what have you done to educate, not give aid, but educate the youth?
Gotcha.
And they have done nothing.
Okay. On your channel, The Real Dana, what's new? What's coming up? Let's do some promotion, please.
Yeah. So, of course, me and the judge every Thursday, Man Up with Judge Joe Brown going live. But I started doing more independent uploads, pre-recorded uploads myself, and my focus is the migrants, the illegal migrants in Chicago and New York, and I'm going to do some content about them in L.A. and Houston because I'm getting really good traction and subscribers, and it's picking up, and it has to be talked about. Black people going back to the black lower class, because that's where they're dumping the illegal migrants. Black people in Chicago, they're standing up, they're fighting back, and we all need to do the same, throughout this nation, or push back against the illegal migrants. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Real Dana.
I ride with the migrants in Chicago. You know this already. Yeah.
What?
Those niggers don't want better for themselves. Trump tried to send in the National Guard years ago. They said, nah, we don't need that. Reverend Jesse Jackson and what is it? Operation Push. They've been in Chicago for years. Oprah, Michael Jordan, Farrakhan, and everybody. Obama. Oh my God, and the Black Panthers. If you still can't get it together after all of that black greatness, it's time to get y'all the fuck out of there. I ride with the migrants. Let's bring in the goddamn Ecuadorians and the Colombians. Let them come in there and work hard and take over. But I'll let you finish up. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me finish up because, number one, not all of them work hard. A lot of them are criminals because you have a very strong Mexican cartel in Chicago, and now they're about to have a Venezuelan cartel because Venezuela let out all their prisoners and told them to join the caravan to come to the United States. So, I'm not going to sit up here and dump on black people in Chicago because a couple of those black people you just named, the only thing they were doing was just robbing from the city. Outside of the Nation of Islam. However, again, as long as black people still need to stand up and fight back and push back, but you're right. You kind of sat on your ass for decades and just voted and didn't, ask or demand anything. And now these people getting free everything, rent, health care, work permit.
As they should. As they should.
As they should.
What's your latest video? Do you want me to put it in my community section? Are you good?
Yeah, well, actually, I am doing a Twitter space today, 7 p.m., and we're going to talk about, because today makes the 15 years when Barack Obama was elected president. So the question I'm asking in the Twitter space, you did Obama help or harm Black Americans? So that's Twitter space at the real data number 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And my next video, I'll definitely send it to you to put in a community section as well.
Thank you, Dana. Great to talk to you. Thank you.
All right, same here. Have a good one. Bye.
I'm riding with the migrants going into Chicago. All those niggas doing Chicago is just shoot each other in record numbers. Every goddamn holiday, 23 people shot, 64 people shot for a goddamn weekend, Father's Day weekend. Stop it already. Hey, Tara, I got your donation. Tara says, as a school psychiatrist, we are losing. Thank you, Tara, for your support. I would agree. I would agree. You know, just the dumbing down of America combined with the glorification of ignorance, you know, I would agree. Hold on a second. Okay, who is my guy, Phil? I don't know you. You're sending in a donation? Please don't just email me. I don't know you. They're just sending a donation. Let's get you out of here. John Flowers, John says, in the hood, them niggas would have been like, cool story, nigga. Now run your pockets, okay? Yeah, after the motivational conversations, yeah. Brian, I got your donation. Star, release the audio with Lawrence Otis Graham. Man, I've got everything. I own it. Just give me some time. I'm not in a rush right now to, you know, rehash all that stuff, you know? I'm in the now. The Star Report is where I want to be. I'm enjoying what I do. Someone sent in a donation. Sorry, I didn't see your name. Upper class is not losing. The upper class has divested itself. Okay, we are going warp speed into where lower class will be the permanent underclass. Okay, there will be 21st century feudalism and serfdom. Okay, I'm sorry I don't see your name. I took a screenshot. Okay. Appreciate your donation. I know I spoke to Advo comedian already, but maybe Advo would have some good insight as opposed to, with regards to Colombians. Guys, what is the number of Colombians coming into America? Hold on a second. Colombians get a bad, hold on a second. Colombians. They get, you know, they get labeled wrong, if you ask me. They want to work. I mean, it's not just all drugs in Colombia. Many Colombians have sought to enter the United States. When I went to Newark, New Jersey, was it last year when I came up on business? There was a lot of Colombian. I think they were Colombians, or where the fuck were they from? The Uber drivers in the Ironbound section of Newark, New Jersey. Were those Colombians or were they from Venezuela? Oh my God, you want to talk about nice people, you know? You ask them to turn on the AC. Oh, no problem, no problem. They barely speak a lick of English. But they cut the AC on. They've got a goddamn Huggy wipes, little piece of candy. Little small bottles of water. Where are those people from in the ironbound section of Newark, New Jersey? All the Uber and Lyft drivers. God bless you. What a great experience I was having. And of course, they were on the phones and they were talking to their friends and family members, whoever. They're talking about drug smuggling. I don't care. But the ride was nice and comfortable. They weren't blasting a fucking Lil Yachty. They weren't blasting the City Girls, assuming I want to hear that shit. TJ got your donation. I seen 2 Colombians getting on after road rage. Okay, well, hey, man. Okay, you saw 2 Colombians. Thank you for your donation. Okay, now were they shooting aimlessly and shooting innocent people? Like the blacks in Chicago? Or were the Colombians just shooting each other? Probably just shooting each other. And I'm okay with that. Hamilton got your donation. Star, what part of Jaws was your grandfather in? My grandfather, Harold Johnson, in the hospital scene in the original film Jaws. He's one of the patients. That was my grandfather, Harold Johnson. He was very well respected on Martha's Vineyard. Are you from the island, sir? Family up there? Spirit, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Who's texting me? Hold on a second. Uh-oh. Oh, there he is. Let's get to it. Mo Fax, good to hear from you, sir, on a Tuesday. Mo Fax, thank you for tapping in.
How you doing, Star?
I'm great, man. A few topics. Do you want to chime in? Is the black upper class losing to the lower class? Or the showrunner, did you become a prison wife to survive? Mo Fax.
Never been a prison wife because I've never been in prison other than the system of white supremacy. But,
right.
But with the upper class is winning. And you know how I always try to frame things is that is the talented 10th, aka the 10%, aka the bloodsuckers of the poor. They are winning. Okay. They're going along with the New World Order, and I don't want to sound conspiratorial, but this is what Jay-Z said in his song. He said, "I'm the New World Order, but I keep it ghetto like sunflower seeds and quarter waters." Mm-hmm. That was his purpose, to bring in criminality, crack dealing, everything, and make it the new cool, make it the new black bourgeoisie. Right. That's where we're at right now, and that's why they have things like Zeus and all these. Even with the algorithms, there are good, upstanding black people all over social media, but it's not pumped by the algorithm. The algorithm pumps ignorance. Yeah. As Neely Fuller said. Yeah. Black people are only allowed to be 3 things in the system of white supremacy: tacky, trashy, and or terroristic. Yeah. That's it. That is it. And that's all that's promoted. This is why you see it. Well, I think it was the guy named Keith Lee, with the restaurant thing, not to go back. But this is an example of what I'm talking about.
Hold on a second. What's that young man's name? He's doing these restaurant reviews in Atlanta, and he's catching some heat. What is his name, guys? Is it... Oh, man, let me Google this. Is that who you're talking about?
I believe it's Keith Lee, if I'm not mistaken.
There he is. Yeah. Keith Lee. He's, if that's the same guy, he's responding to Chad Ochocinco. He's doing reviews on eateries in Atlanta. Go ahead.
At Boulay headquarters, Atlanta. Yeah. And what he has to realize is the social strain that's in Atlanta, because you have an abundance of black people, mostly poor, and when rich black people open up things like restaurants or any kind of operation or business, they want to flock there. They have to make rules to deal with these low class people as they see them as trash. Rules so
rules that you don't want to deal with, so you don't even go to the restaurant. You see what I'm saying? Like it's so many hurdles. You can't have this, you can't have that, you can't do this, you can't do that. Well, that keeps the low class away. And he stumbled. I don't know if he did it purposely or not, but he stumbled right into that class war. This black class war is going on. Because
Mo, can I jump in? What was that you said about poor blacks in Atlanta? Is that what you said?
Yes.
I totally disagree with you. When is the last time you have been to Atlanta, Mo? Last time
I've been to Atlanta was probably 96, I believe.
Mo, niggas are getting the bag in the ATL, Mo. Niggas ain't poor down there.
Right.
Mo, niggas is up in Papados, snapping Alaskan king crab. Niggas is up in juicy crab, spondivets. Niggas is living in College Park, Duluth, and all sorts of places. Niggas in Jonesboro are living and eating high up off the hog. They're not broke down there.
Right.
No,
sir. I didn't say that they all were broke. And actually, Atlanta has a abundance of rich black people.
You said.
Let me explain to you how it works. Start from my perspective.
Well, hang on. Let me just give a little pushback here because I lived down there from 2019 to last year. I was staying in Woodstock. Niggas are getting money down there. Scammers are getting money. Woo! Scammers are all over Midtown, the Atlanta metro area, Vinings, all over the goddamn place. So this young man, Keith Lee, I think he's doing a good service. He's critiquing these restaurants and the nasty way that black people are treating other black people. I experienced that myself personally. Mo, go ahead.
And that's the point, Star. That's why I call it a class war.
Go ahead.
Because I agree with you. Atlanta has a overrepresentation of black wealth. Right. But here's the problem. When they start to have a spot, this little spot they go to, or we go over here for brunch with the mimosas and all this, as soon as niggas start to hear about it,
right.
Even low-class niggas with money that can get through the door with their money, they don't have the class to be there. And that's what those rules are set to do, to weed out those. It's not. They're doing the same thing the white man did.
Yeah.
When he be like, how many jelly beans is in this jar to get into the restaurant?
Right.
And you had to guess. And if you guessed wrong, you couldn't get in. It's the same exact thing, but this is what's happening. But what I'm saying, the black rich are winning is because they're setting black poor people up.
Okay.
How this is with those all the Star, you're all over with every topic. But I'm doing it. You're saying a bird's eye view of what's being set up here.
Gotcha.
They built the prisons. They let the with 2020. They let them go wild, as white boys would say. They let them chimp out, and now they're gonna say do something with them, and they're gonna lead them right into those prisons that's been built, and then we're gonna go move forward with new brown people they're bringing in. Because when the white people get old, they need somebody to wipe their butt, feed them applesauce, come over, clean the house up, and we don't have the birth rate to support that with American-born people. This is why you have the mass migration. And just like black people can't now, I'm on the ADOS people side of Chicago, but we've been here before because when Southern blacks used to move to Chicago in the 1920s and let me explain to you what's going on.
I have to say this, Mo. I'm riding with the Colombians and whoever else is migrating into Chicago. They need to take that place over because niggas ain't been doing nothing with Chicago. It's a fucking embarrassment. Go ahead.
Let me explain to you why I have to be on the ADOS side.
Come on.
Because if we let people walk across that border and say they're equal to me as a citizen, that cheapens my citizenship. So I have to be on the citizen side no matter what, because I don't want my citizenship to be cheapened. That's why I'm going to have to be on the ADOS side. But now let me just say this. I don't want to take too long, but when black people from the South in the 1920s all the way through the 1950s used to come up to Chicago, mass migration because they need the workforce.
Right.
You know what they did? They put laws in, Star. They said you couldn't eat watermelon outside, and you had to have your hair combed, all kind of. And these were black people. These were the original black Chicagoans that would look down on the Southern blacks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying we're repeating. We're going through a loop again, and what all they're doing, we're in the minstrel show section of the play. This is what you're seeing on Zeus. Sexy Red, all this shucking and jiving and cooning. This is just to be set up so they can wipe it away and have the black upper class, you know what I'm saying, which I love the book that's on Our Kind of People.
Our Kind of People.
Yeah, and I respect him because you're right. The upper class black people were proud to be black. They didn't want to mix breed. They didn't want, you know what I'm saying, they didn't want to mix with any people.
Right.
They were proud to be black, and that's what people get frustrated with me about. I'm a proud black man.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I don't condone the tomfoolery and the shucking because I understand white people created the Sambo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mo, if I can jump up for a second, Rory, sit tight. Arvo, comedian, sit tight. Let me just say this. You know, back in the 70s, long before they even started calling a certain beach area on Oak Bluffs the Inkwell, yes, black people or Cape Verdeans, because there's a lot of Cape Verdeans on Martha's Vineyard once upon a time, they were proud to be black. I remember a black girl one time, she said to me, your mother white? She looked at me damn near in disgust. Your mother white? This is like 1975 or some shit. I said, yeah. But anyway, I just want to throw that in there with regards to the conversation. But with regards to the topic itself, so just so that we stay on topic, is the black upper class losing to the lower class? Your answer is, Mo?
No, they're not losing because they're more valuable to white supremacy and always will be. I mean, niggas is born every day. You know, so that's the whole point of the talented 10. When you're part of that talented 10, you are special. You are different. That's why they're letting the schools in Baltimore, I think they said notice this number now, only 11% of the kids are proficient in reading and math. What they're doing is they're siphoning off the talented 10, sending them off to Ivy League school to be trained by white minds, to think like white people, and they leave the trash. These are not my words, but this is how they look at it. Human weeds. They leave them to keep the prison system filled, to keep the organ harvesting flow going, and you're saying whatever else kind of scientific mumbo jumbo they want to do. And that's all it is. To start, I want to say this before I go. I have a unique perspective because my parents were educators. Right. So we were we were the bottom of the upper middle class. You see what I'm saying? Because they didn't have the money because they were teachers, but they had the credentials in society, you know, to be, that we had certain dinner guests to come over. Michael Eric Dyson ate at my parents' table before. Okay. We had Loretta, Loretta Lynch's brother, that's the former AG. He's eaten on my house many a times. Okay. So I can see it from both sides. I'm wrapping up with this, is that I can see it from one side that you can look down on somebody and say, why don't y'all do better? But I look at it from the other side, I'm always going to be with the people because you're only there because you're useful to white supremacy as I talk to the other black class. Okay. You're only, that's your power. That's it. Gotcha. I'll wrap on that star. As always, thank you for letting me be on and having the time.
Thank you, Mo Fax. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Okay.
Good call with Mo Fax. Rory, sit tight. You're up next. Rory, sit tight. Folks, I'm not prepared today to talk about Keith Lee and what he's doing in the Atlanta area by way of restaurants. Possibly tomorrow. I just need a little bit more time to research. But let me just say, without knowing the depths of what he is doing and or saying, I agree with him. Is he focused on the hospitality or the service? What is Keith Lee focused on in terms of critiquing Atlanta restaurants and eateries? I've had some real nasty experiences. I'm going to keep it honest with you, especially at the Capitol Grill. Anybody ever been to the Capitol Grill? I've gone to all those high-end eateries, and I'm not going to just, kick people's backs, and I'll let him do that. Well, one of my favorite places to go was Herb's Rib Shack in Marietta. That's where I was at. Some of the other places were just too fugazi. I'll just use that word. Rory, are you there? Tuesday evening, Rory. Area code 3-4. How are you, man? What's cracking? You see the title, Rory, is the black upper class losing to the lower class. Let's get to it.
Yeah. Just real quick, your show is informative. I got to say that because
Thank you.
The last caller, Mo, who I respect, I never heard black people couldn't eat watermelon out in public. That's a new one to me. I never heard that one before. That's kind of crazy.
I don't want to go back to what Mo said. Mo spoke, so let's not try and critique another caller. Give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts, Rory.
Yeah. I don't think it's just black lower class. I really don't think it's just exclusively black lower class.
I didn't say black lower
class.
Lower
class is winning.
No.
Oh, I thought you said.
Hang on.
Well, I think the lower class in America is winning. I think the lower class in America is winning because I see like the younger people, all the ones who aren't lower class, they all want to act like they're lower class.
Bingo. Stop right there because you're tuning in late, and I appreciate you. You and I are friends. Yes, earlier in the broadcast, I spoke about the greatest power is influence, and black culture is dominant right now. It has been for many, many years. And I spoke about the title is the black upper class losing to the lower class. It doesn't say the black lower class. The lower class can be anybody who phenotypically is of non-black. It can be anybody, Hispanic, Caucasian. I also spoke about a lot of Euro trash that has come here who assimilate to being white. So the lower class is not just, pointed at people of color. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you that the influence is way more powerful than the upper class's money and wealth. Right. The influence on the younger generation is way more powerful because you see affluent areas and you see children or younger people who are, affluent or from middle class places trying to act lower class.
Right.
Trying to emulate lower class society.
Right.
And for me, it's funny because I wanted nothing more than to get away from the lower class. Like I lived in a pretty lower class neighborhood. I grew up in a lower class neighborhood. And
you grew up in a hang on,
Roy.
Hang on, Roy. With all due respect, you came up in a middle class area in the BX, and then a certain climate started moving in, and let's keep it real, they ran you off the block. You moved out to Elmont, yes?
Yeah, but no, when I was born there, it wasn't middle class, dog. Kingsbridge wasn't middle class. Not in my era. In my parents' era,
working
it was,
class.
But not in my era. There was
working class.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm not saying I'm not saying they ran you off the block as if you tucked your tail. No, the goddamn property value started dropping, and your father said, "Whoa, we gotta get out of here," right?
Well, other people started moving into the area, lower class people, and they started outnumbering us 10-1, and the property value went down, and everything just started, the way, your way of life just went down, the crime went up.
Time to go.
And so, it was time to go. It was really time to go. My mom wasn't safe coming home from work, and, stuff like that. what's like the Crown Fried Chicken moved into the neighborhood. It was like a sign of the times.
Time
and
to
it was
go.
Like, we might have to vacate this area. You know,
too many Puerto Ricans on heroin.
So, but I do
time
think,
to go. Time to go. Yeah.
Oh, time to go.
Yeah.
Oh, forget about it.
Yeah.
When they were lining
We
up,
don't mind the blacks on coke. We don't mind the blacks on coke, but the Puerto Ricans on heroin, time to go. Come on, finish up. I got to take other calls.
Yes, because in the morning time you wouldn't see the crackheads in the morning time so much, but you would see the Puerto Ricans lined up for the methadone clinics acting crazy.
Right.
You know, when you have to go to school, you have to pass by all these crazy ass Puerto Ricans lined up for the methadone. They used to try to rob us, and we were going to middle school.
Yeah.
You know, so and these were grown men.
Right.
These were grown men.
Rory, listen, I hate to cut you short.
And I think the influence.
Rory, all right. Finish up because I got to take one more call and get out of here. I got to handle something. But go ahead, please. Finish
All
up.
right, cool. Real quick with the prison wife thing. I did see a Jewish kid from Brooklyn get turned out into a prison wife when I was locked up. I met him in the Tombs, and he was acting hardcore and stuff, and I sat back and I was like, oh, he's gonna get it. He's acting too tough. He's fronting, and sure enough. I've seen him a couple times when I had to go back and forth to court, and he got turned out. He had his shirt twisted up in a knot in the front, and they were making him carry things for them, and he was crying, you know. And he asked me, I didn't really feel bad for him, but he asked me like, yo, you know, these dudes don't really like me, you know, these cats don't.
All right,
really...
listen, Rory, I gotta go. Rory, I gotta go, man. Thank you.
All right, baby.
I gotta go. Okay, guys, one last call, and I got to shut this down. Hold on a second. Where is Advo? We're going to finish up with Advo. Advo, are you there? So you are my last caller. Thank you for calling back. I was talking. Hang on. I was talking to Dana about the Colombians who are, I think, well, I'm not sure if it's the Colombians, but the ironbound section of Newark, New Jersey, the Lyft and Uber drivers, these people are doing a great job. Are those a lot of Colombians up there?
Yeah, Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Right.
We actually have there's a city in New Jersey called Bogota.
Right.
And there's a lot of Colombians moved there because it's different name.
Hardworking.
Because it's the name of the capital. Of
Hardworking.
Yeah,
let's go.
Yes, for sure. Colombians had, because of the war on drugs, they have a bad condemnation on their names in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s.
Right.
And even if you, I wish if you ever go to South America, go to Colombia, because when you
thank you.
The experience
no, thank you. But continue.
No, definitely. But there's pure cocaine over there, just to let you know.
No, thank you. But just stay focused.
No, I'm just throwing it out there. But the essence of Colombian is to let people know, like, I want you to come back to my country. I don't want you to feel like we're terrorists. I don't want you to feel like we're gonna, Also, a lot of Colombians feel ashamed that they basically drug the whole world. Currently, 95% of the drugs that come from the cocaine still comes from Colombia.
Hang on. Advo, listen, never mind that. I was talking to Dana about what's going on in Chicago and the migrants that are, coming and the blacks are...
Well, Title 42. Title 42
the blacks, the FBA are kicking up dust, and I am in support of the migrants on this one because
I am in support
too.
And let me give you...
have ran that place into the goddamn ground. I'm tired of shootings and record numbers. I'm okay with the migrants coming in as long as...
Can I include two?
Come on.
Can I include two more groups? Can I include two more groups? It's not just the blacks. It's the blacks, it's the Cubans, and it's the Puerto Ricans.
Right.
The
Latin Kings.
Supreme Court.
Latin Kings.
The Supreme Court said last 2 years ago that after 2030, Puerto Rico is not getting no more EBT. Right? Yeah. Also, Obama, before he left office, he took up the wet foot, dry foot law. You know how many Cubans we deporting right now that had felonies from 2003? Right. That we couldn't deport to Cuba. So we still deporting like the plagues. If you think about El Salvador has a 35-year-old president that is technically killing gang members, like cleaning them off, taking their tattoos off, Yes, there's a lot of new immigrants coming in from Venezuela, from South America. In 2016, Colombia had a peace treaty in which a lot of guerrillas or a lot of jungle people became citizens because the country basically stopped a 59-year-old war. Because of that, a lot of people are coming in from Venezuela. Colombia right now has 6 million refugees from Venezuela. So we're
Advo, listen to me. I hate to cut you short. Listen to me. I appreciate your knowledge, your history. All that's great. I'm just supporting the migrants, whoever they are, in Chicago. Can you finish up there?
Nah, but we ain't here. That's a fact. We ain't here. Just last month. Last month I received 54 Colombians that came from Texas. They sending them in buses to major cities like New Jersey, like New York, like Chicago.
Advo, focus on Chicago. Black people in Chicago are kicking up dust. They're trying to sue people. If you're not up to speed on what's going on in Chicago, that's fine. I'm just saying that.
No, I'm up to speed. I think it's a great thing. Look, when Barack Obama became president, the first thing they did was they were trying to sell the senator seat to Jesse Jackson.
Right.
So already Cook County is one of the most corrupted counties in the country.
Facts.
So yes, I do agree that. Look, right now Chicago has the biggest majority of Mexicans in the whole country. More than Texas, more than California. So the reality is they're here to stay. Mexicans are the biggest growing middle class. The same person that was selling tacos outside has
Viva Mexico! God bless those people.
Viva Mexico! Viva la raza! Like shout out to them.
Viva Mexico!
So we here to stay. We here to stay. And the Dominicans too. They cutting hair. They driving. The Dominicans also taking over. Shout out to the Negro League. Y'all lost the Negro League.
Slow down. I don't give a fuck about the Dominicans, man. But salute to the
y'all lost the Negro
Colombians
League.
The Mexicans. Avo, thank you for calling back. I'm out of here.
Salute. Shout out to the Italians.
No, sir. We don't do shout outs to the dirty Dagos. Thank you. Fucking Dagos. I'm half Dago.